Today we are going to talk about Investigation 2.4 from Data About Us, and this will help us answer the question of how we distinguish different types of data and what statistics are used with different types of data. So what we are really going to be looking at is the difference between categorical data and numerical data. Categorical can be grouped into categories such as a favorite sport. The answers are usually not numbers, and we can usually find everything statistically that we can find with number data, with the exception of the mean, because the mean is a numerical value. So, and then numerical data are counts or measures, and these are answers that will be in number form. For example, how many pets you have, how many children are in your house, these questions you will respond with numbers. So let's take a look at a couple of questions out of the book. So it says, how much time do you spend watching the television each day? This is an example of a numerical data because we're going to give a number of hours or a number of minutes. Who is your favorite author? This one is going to be categorical because we're going to be responding with a name. Now, we can take those names and get numbers of people that like a certain author, but for the most part, your answer is going to be in word form. What month were you born? Categorical. Those are words. Now, we can count the number of people that were born in January or February or April or May, and get a total number of people, but that is an entirely different question than what month were you born. How many movies have you watched this past week? That is another example of numerical data, okay, because that's going to be a number. And then would I answer these questions with words or numbers is simply the girl deciding which of those four questions is numerical or categorical. So we're going to move on and take a look at a couple of examples from the book. We're actually going to do A and B together, so you need to come to school with A and B done before tomorrow. All right, so what we have here is some different examples of categorical and numerical data. The first one is favorite pet. If I came up to you and I asked what your favorite type of pet was, you would respond with a word. There would be a certain animal that you are talking about. So that would be an example of categorical data. Now, when we from the types of pets, we can determine that there were 4 people that like cats, 7 that like dogs, and we can get lots of numerical answers out of our categories, but we still responded to the original question with a word. So therefore, it's categorical. Over here in the blue, we have number of pets, and this would probably answer the question, how many pets do you have at home, or what's the number of pets that you have? And see, these are all numbers. So for example, if I take a look at this table here, I can see that there are 2 people that have 0 pets, and that there are 2 people that have 1 pet. And so real quickly, we're going to go back over what that word of frequency means. It doesn't mean that that is also a number of information. It simply means that that's the number of times it occurs. So the frequency, if I added up the total of the frequency, that would give me the number of people in this class, and the same for this one. So let's take a look at a couple of questions. Question A says, which graph shows categorical data, numerical data? Well, we just talked about that. Favorite pet is going to be an example of categorical. Okay, categorical, put the L there. Number of pets is going to be numerical, because we're responding with a number. All right, so real quickly, we're going to go up here and answer B1, and we will answer B2 together. But I want you to write the word elephant on Monday's reflection box on your paper. All right, so keeping up with that, number B1 says, what is the total number of pets that students have? Taking a look at this, which one do you think is going to give us that answer? Okay, the one that's going to give us the number of pets that students have is going to come from the number of pets. That's going to give us the number, total number that students have. So we're going to get this from the number of pets. Okay, and how we're going to do that is we're going to add up the frequency of occurrences. Okay, so I can tell for number of pets that the students have, the total number, we're going to add up the numbers. So we have, right here we have 0 that there are 2 people that have 0. There are 2 people, so 2 times 1 is 2. We have 5 people that have 2 pets, so 5 people times 2 pets each is 10. Okay, and then we're going to use 4 times 3 pets, so we're going to add that to 12. And then there's 1 person that has 4, so we're going to add 4. And then 2 people that have 5, so that's plus another 10. 3 and 6 would make 18. So what we're really doing is just multiplying the frequency, which would mean how many people had that number, times the number that we were asking for. So like 7 and 0, there are nobody that has 7 pets, so that's going to be a 0. We don't need to throw it into the equation. 1 person with 8, 1 person with 9. Nobody had 10 or 11, but we do have a 12, so that'd be plus 12. Okay, nobody had 13. We had 1 person with 14. They must live on a very large farm or have a lot of space in their house because, either that or hopefully they're not, the cat lady. And then we have 1 person that has 17. Again, hopefully those are people that live on a farm or have some space that they can let those pets roam around. And then we have 1 person with 19. And we have 1 person with 21. So now what we can do is we can add these all up, and that's going to give us the number of pets that the students have. So 2 plus 10 plus 12 plus 4 plus 10 plus 18 plus 8 plus 9 plus 12 plus 14 plus 17, 19, and 21 equals a grand total of 156. Okay, so that means that we have, for B1, we have a total of 156 pets for this class. Okay? All right. Now, let's take a look at B2 real quick. B2 says, what is the greatest number of pets that a student has? Okay, and again, this question is also going to be determined by the numerical information because it's not about a specific type of pet or how many people like a dog or how many people like a bird or any of those others. This is simply asking, what is the biggest number of pets that a student has? So for B2, I'm going to look over here and I can either look by see the number column here. This would be the number of pets that a student has. I'm going to go over here to the largest number. Or I can use the table and see that 1 person had 21 pets right here. So the greatest number of pets is 21 pets. Okay, now all of B came from the numerical information. So as you go, you really need to, and in class tomorrow, we're going to take a look at things like how many students are in the class. Okay, we can determine that from both. We can determine things like how many cats do people have. We could look and see what is the favorite type of pet, and all sorts of things. But the different types of information that we can get from numerical are, we can get an average number of pets, which would be mean. So for numerical data, let's take a look at the different types of information that we can get for numerical versus categorical. So numerical versus categorical. All right, so numerical information, you can find the mean. You can find the median. You can find the mode, the minimum, the maximum, and the range. And the range is going to be a number. You're going to find the range based upon the subtraction of the minimum and the maximum. Now, for categorical data, you're not going to be able to find a mean because it's like if I wanted to find the average or the mean of the number of people that were born in a certain month, I could do that. But if I asked a class, what month were you born in, I can't find an average month that people were born in. So we cannot find the mean. Now, we can still find the median. Okay, we can do that by listing out the animals and crossing one off, and the median will look different. It'll be a word. For example, in that first quiz, we asked, it was birth month, and the median birth month was July, because when you took your information and listed it out for the number of people born in each month, you were left with July. We can find a mode, okay? And what I mean by that is, again, we're not going to be finding a number here, but this would be a mode as far as a type, okay, or one of the categories can be the mode. So if I look up here for favorite pet, I'm looking right there. The mode is dog. Dog is going to be the mode because most people picked the dog than anything else. Okay, so we can still find the mode. We're not really going to be able to find the minimum and the maximum. Okay, we can find numerical, like who had the most number, but again, that's more mode than it is minimum and maximum. So not for categorical. Okay, and then categorical, got to spell that out. All right, now for range. Range is going to be the number of options. It's not going to be the subtraction of the minimum maximum. We can't find the mean. We can't find the minimum and the maximum. So what we can do for the range is find the number of options. Okay? So like when I ask the question, how many people are born in a month, that's going to give me a number. If I ask what month were you born in, you have one of 12 options because there are 12 months of the year. So let's take a look up here at the categorical data. The range for this, okay, the range for this categorical information was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There was a range of 10 because there were 10 different animals that were selected. Okay, there is no 7 minus 1. Okay, it's not going to be the biggest number of animals by the smallest number because we have more than one animal that got a vote and has one vote. So the range looks different, even though you can actually find the range. So in numerical data, we can find all of those, and they're going to be numbers, and they're going to be exactly like what we covered. For categorical, we're not going to be able to find the mean. We're not going to be able to find minimum and maximum. And the things that we can find, all three of those are going to be words. So these are going to be words or one of the categories. Okay, we can't really cut a category in half. So that's another reason why mean is going to be hard to find. So categories. All right. I will see you in class tomorrow.